dough on him. Hood postman. Reporting live. This the hood postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the whip with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the four corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never told a lie. Let's ride. Hood postman. 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 Hood postman.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it is going to feel like the 1st and the 15th. We got a special guest in the house. Man, introduce yourself, sir.
Why? I'm Terrance Gangsta Williams, a.k.a. OG Giggity. Let's get it, baby.
Let's get it. New Orleans in the house.
We in the building, baby.
Man, listen, man, it's a pleasure and an honor to meet you, man, but there's so much to talk about and so little time to do it, so let's get to it, man. Growing up in New Orleans, right? You grew up in the Magnolia Projects, right?
No.
Tell me where you grew up at.
I grew up in Gertown, the 17th Ward, and we later, after moving to 1, 2, 3 other houses, then we moved to the Magnolia Project.
Okay, what was that experience like being in the Magnolia Projects? Because I don't heard so much about the Magnolia Projects, but yet explain to the world what it was like.
Coming up in the Magnolia Project, you already had to be seasoned, meaning like if you was slow or didn't know what you was doing, you were gonna get rolled over. However, we had homies, homeboys in the project that was like, listen, man, I'm not with this fools, I'm not with that. So people made sure that they were good. But if you was a guy that was in the street, then you better know what you was doing, man, because it was a dog-eat-dog world. But I enjoyed it because we had a lot of homegirls that were cool. They like to party, they gonna hang out, they just show love. And it was like a big family back there, but it get violent too,
So you had a pretty large family yourself. How many family members did you have in your immediate family?
So when you say immediate family, you talking about my mother's side or father's side?
Just your brothers and sisters, your siblings.
It's like 25 of us all together.
Your father fathered 25 kids?
Yeah.
How many boys?
How many boys you say?
Yeah.
Like, I will say 22.
So 22 boys and 4 girls or 3 girls?
3 girls, right.
Wow. That's amazing. Awesome. So
yeah,
let's get to it. Living in New Orleans, right? I never heard of the Crips and Bloods actually being in New Orleans. Can you elaborate on that?
Okay. We didn't come up like, we come up with wards, like 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, our neighborhoods, right? Crips came down to our city like in the 80s somewhere, right? It was this guy named Chuck from Big Boy Records. He had came down, and then my homie Jerker Man came down from Cali. Well, he from New Orleans, but he went to Cali and came back. We always had a Bloods over in Mary Poppins across the river, some Piru Bloods. But it wasn't nothing whereas you see it all over, flags and things of that nature. It always was hoods. like the wards, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't have the blood. It wasn't until Wayne and Birdman started pushing that bloodline that people start, okay, we're gonna rep this blood, you know. So it's all over now, you know, and it's like I be shocked sometimes because it's like I know from looking at movies, reading books, and being around guys in prison, it's certain stuff you had to do to become a blood. But these days, we cool. That's your set. All right, I'm with you, home. All right, you blood. You my little homie now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's crazy, man. But we always had Bloods across the river in Mary Poppins, like I say. We had Crips across the river, but that stuff wasn't big in my city where it was just crazy gangbanging like that.
So what I like to say, I'm a spiritual gangster at war with the culture conditioning of my people. And I believe the culture conditioning of my people, we are underestimated, undervalued, and marginalized. And we have to find a way to become culture responsible and culture competent in this dynamic, because we're being attacked and assaulted from all angles and ends, right? So when I first realized that Baby and Lil Wayne had embraced the West Coast culture, I thought like that was like, you know, for me, you know what I mean? Because they were doing so well in the music industry and the business, on the business side. Why do you feel that they should have added that to what they were saying, to the framework of the music and what they were doing for their content?
No, but let me say this, because I was in prison when it started, right? But I analyzed it and I peeped and I understood it once I was like, oh, okay. Now, I never had a talk with Wayne or Birdman about this. It just was, I put it together, right? I seen how the music industry started changing, whereas you got to go with a gang of homies to different cities because, you know, people snatching chains, people trying to jump on you. So if Baby used to go out of town with like at least 100 homeboys from different project killers. So now some of the homeboys started seeing they making money. They like, man, we hitting this road, but we ain't really getting no money because I got to go home and hustle. Man, I'm about to stop getting on this tour bus riding like that, right? So now what better thing to do? Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start repping the blood set because everywhere is Bloods now. So all I got to do is pull up, holler at the big homie, look, we in town, whatever. I'm good. That's just something I was like, you know what? It only makes sense to say, you know what? Instead of me traveling with all these homies from New Orleans all over the world, once I rep that blood, I'm good now.
So what are you saying? I don't mean to cut you off. What you saying, from the sense of marketing and the sense of protection, it was a good deal, is what you're saying?
Yes, because now you don't have to put up with because you got to keep in mind, when you got dudes in your city riding with you on tour bus, now you got to hear all the nagging. Man, I need money for this. Man, I need money for that. You gotta be around all the jealousy. It's a lot of hatred. So now, I'm blood, I'm Pyru blood. So now when I pull up wherever and I rep, hey, well, you know, so whoop did, you know, whatever, you know, the call, dude's gonna respond. Or I can just pull up in town and hit the big homie off, and he gonna make sure all the little homies make sure I'm good. You know, so that's the only that, because I'm like, because you know, we didn't come up off gang culture.
Right.
You know, so when I seen the move, I was like, okay, it only makes sense that's why they pull that.
So why are you known as the original hot boy?
Huh?
You say you call yourself the original hot boy, right?
All right.
Why are you the original hot boy versus just being the hot boy?
I like that. It was me, 3 other guys that are deceased now in the project, running around wilding, robbing, police looking for us, enemies coming through looking for us, girls looking for us. So I had a homeboy in a project named Foo. He was like, man, the girls call y'all the hot boys. And like every time, not every time, but majority of the time, if you got a gang of guys in the courtyard, might be on the post shooting dice or just posted up, and you walk up, and if you notice, people start dispersing. So now you like, man, it started happening on a regular. Like soon we walk up, guys like, what's up? They're like, they all cool. And in a minute, somebody called them across the street, or they're, hey, yo, son, they're gonna get from around us. So I was like, it started making sense that, oh, they don't really want to be around, but they're scared to tell us. You see what I'm saying? So the hot boy movement come about, and once Baby and I were on a bus, he was like, man, I got this group. I need a name. So man, we like 30 minutes, we trying to find a name. I was like, how many of them? He says 4 of them. I said, man, name the Hot Boys. He's like, what's the concept behind that? They look good, they dress fly, they got jewelry, they got cars, girls, enemies, police looking for them. They hot boys. So they ran with it.
Yeah. Tell me, what is your relationship with Slim and Baby at this time?
Me and Slim, outstanding. Birdman and I, shaky. You know, we don't, how I put this? We don't really have no relationship, me and Birdman, you know.
So he's angry about the way you got yourself out. Is that what it is? Or
Yeah. And
so,
like I say,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
At the end of the day, it's justifiably your decision. I mean, you know what I mean? Because you got to live with the outcomes and whatever the back talk is. But at the end of the day, I believe that ultimately the responsibility fall on you. It don't have nothing. I mean, maybe he feel like you tarnished the name or you tarnished, you know, I don't know. What's your take on it?
That's exactly that. Like I've told people from day one, I don't be in a tunnel vision when I deal with certain situations. And you know, you rationalize with the situation, you say, well, why he do I? And I understand it. I respect his call because I sat at that table and made these rules. Never talk to the people under no circumstance. You never sit down and talk to these people. So now, no matter if they dead or not, I still broke a rule I made. So that's why I don't get mad or, you know, upset with him about his rule, because he's still standing on how we come up. G'd up, you know what I'm saying? And you know, in the industry, it's a lot of politics. So now you got a brother that's labeled as a snitch or a rat. You can't hang with him. It's gonna make you look bad. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna tarnish the label. So what I'm gonna do, you know, well, he made the decision, you know, separate himself from me. And I understand that. I respect that. I'm free, man. I don't buy friendship. It's too expensive. So whoever mad with me, this is just the decision, the choice I made, and I'm living with it. I'm enjoying it. Yesterday made a year I've been home free. So, bro, I'm enjoying it, bro.
There it is. You've been home a year now, right?
Yeah, yesterday you made a year, bro.
Well, let me say this. Blood make you related, but loyalty make you family. So we have to understand those two different things, those two different dynamics. You know what I mean? Because as people, we try to evolve, we try to go. Life is really just practice. We just hope we get good at it. So let me tell you, how much time did you spend in federal prison?
23 years and 10 months.
Man, yeah, that's a long time, bro. That's a long time. In regards, and you also, wait a minute, you also came across Big Meech in there. What was that meeting like? You ran into Big Meech, and what was that?
Man, good dude. Real good dude, bro. Respectful. Man, bro, I'm talking about, you know how people always say, well, I don't know if you know, but a lot of people always say how they like how I come on the social media. I'm not arrogant, cocky. You know, I have fun and play. Big Meech, when I met him, that's how he was. Respectful. He gonna work out. He gonna talk about, you know, how he had the club on lock, and you know, he gonna drink the little hooch they drank. He gonna bop all the food. And he gonna sit down and enjoy it, man. He was a real humble, good dude, man.
Okay, got it. What about, I know you guys had some problems in the earlier years with Master P. What was that? How did that translate in the business versus the personal?
It wasn't with Master P per se. It was with his cousins out the Calio project. I was at war with them. So, you know, it's like you got Master P right here, you got Birdman right here. I'm a street guy. Master P cousins are street guys. So now we clashing. So now we at war. This is family that's at war. How these two gonna come together when my family be with your family? It ain't safe.
Wow. Okay. So let's deal with the elephant in the room now. Lil Boosie. Let's deal with the elephant in the room. Lil Boosie. Does he fully understand what manhood is? Do he fully understand that you're going to take some wins? You got to take the wins with the losses. Do we understand that sometimes you got to reposition yourself in order to win at this game called life?
I don't think so. And I would say this: I think that Boosie is bipolar. I think he move off his mood swings when he get high, because you'll see how he be up and down, up and down. And if you go back and look at his Vlad interviews, Vlad asked him a question about Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross out of Cali. Boosie's exact words were, "Man, that's my dog, my dude, man. I'm helping you home," or something to that nature. I don't want to talk about him. Vlad asked him about Fredo Bang. "Oh, that's Baton Rouge business. I don't talk about Baton Rouge business." But when Terrance Gangsta William name come up, he just exploded, volcano, erupt. I didn't know I had that effect on him. Honestly, you got to keep in mind, I'm a guy from the streets. Went to the Fed at 23 years old. Did 23 years and 10 months, day for day. I don't know Boosie. Now, he sent word to me when he was in Angola. I sent word to the homie to make sure he was good. So I guess, from street perspective, like he said, he had me in that legend book, and I messed that up. But I would rather mess up a legend book, a fictitious legend book any day for my freedom. Because Boosie ain't sent me a dime in Chinese money when I was locked up.
Wow. So are you guys able to build, or are you just still just on opposite sides of the table?
Well, who?
Boosie. I mean, have you reached out to him, communicated? Have he tried to communicate? Because sometimes, man, we just got to sit down and talk it out.
No.
That's men.
No, we haven't reached out to one another, and there's nothing to talk out, because Boosie and I on, two different playing fields. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boosie's in the industry.
Okay.
He getting money. He doing his thing. He got an image to uphold.
Right.
So, and then what we gonna talk about? What I'm gonna say? Yeah, Boosie, I did what I did. You mad with me? Come on, man. Let's go have some dinner. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna, So, but and I don't. And
yeah,
I don't
I
honestly.
See him, though, I see he lack emotional discipline. I see that part, and also see your position on it. And then a lot of people, they try to interpret these interviews, or when you speak to somebody that come from your position, right? They try to make it personal. I don't know why they do that. You know what I mean? Because for me to take up everybody's beef or everybody's disagreement, it's nonsensical, because I don't have no room in my head to read out to no dudes that's mad at you or whatever you did. I don't, it doesn't have nothing to do with me per se, but I enjoy talking to individuals, so because I want to understand, and I want to understand to the degree to why it had to go the way it had to go. You know what I mean? Because I don't heard T.I., I don't heard Tekashi 6ix9ine, I heard you, I heard Mob James, I've heard countless of others. You know what I mean? But what I don't do is make it personal. And I don't know dudes that never met you or understood, had a word with you. They are making it personal. I don't know, and that just behooves me.
I believe this. Birdman set the tone for that. When Birdman say no, I'm rejecting that. Now you got the bandwagon riders like, you know what? Birdman said, okay, I'm gonna ride with it. These dudes don't know me personally. What I did didn't affect none of them, but to them, yeah, that wasn't right. You see what I'm saying? And now, the same situation that was presented to the world about me, it was presented about this other rapper. But yet Boosie ain't never came out and denounced him yet. But he had a high tempo energy about OG Giggity.
So what is it?
There's favoritism out there in that world, man.
Okay, so what exactly did you do? So you had some information on some dudes that was no longer with us, right?
Right.
And you decided, I'm gonna use this ploy right here. I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm gonna get myself out of prison, right?
Okay, no, see, that's another misconception of how I really got out of prison.
Okay.
Because when I was on Vlad, I specifically said Donald Trump in December of 2018 signed the First Step Act.
Yes, he did.
The First Step Act allowed people like me that have been incarcerated a long time to file a motion saying, hey, Your Honor, I've been incarcerated. I got this kind of accomplishments. accomplished this kind of thing since I've been incarcerated. I would like for you to reduce my sentence. Now, what the government did, and I got a lot of stuff I'm gonna cover in my documentary, but I had received an email and I was told, listen, go over to the state and go close some of them cases. Then we'll take that consideration. Because the government still could respond to Yana, he's a murderer. He did this, and this. A lot of these murders still unsolved. Or he know about this, Yana. So we don't think you should release him. How can you release a person back to society that don't want to own up to what he did over here? He's not taking full responsibility. That's how it come about me going to the state, helping with some of the homicides. A lot of people, what I learned, have a short attention span.
True.
Because if you go back and review BG and Hot Bezo, they did a video. They had the paperwork when I did on one of the Hot Boys, and it was like, man, he telling on the dead. They got it on YouTube. They had the paperwork with this, but like I say, I think because when I came home running, got on Vlad, my name blew up, so now the spotlight on me. So people looking at things that like, it's like, okay, you up, we're gonna find a way to tear you down. But I welcome it all. Like I tell people on social media, you have to have bulletproof emotions. They're gonna come at you.
True.
And I welcome it all, you know what I'm saying? Because Birdman had told me in the beginning, you're only gonna get 5 minutes of fame. Like I say, I got an hour now, So, but I never said that I got out of prison just by telling on the dead. People took that part and ran with it.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I just remained silent and let it go because it has allowed me to do interview after interview after interview, and that's how I've been getting paid. So I'm fine with it. Whatever they want to say it. I'm free. I take care of myself. I don't ask nothing for nothing. I'm out here grinding, and I'm living life, bro. I'm enjoying it, bro.
What you did, Gangsta, was gave yourself permission to be happy. You don't need anybody's approval. You know what I mean? Or the right, because the right people will respect it, but the rest are irrelevant. And your energy and who you are as an individual is more valuable. So they don't deserve access to who you are inside. You know what I mean? The surface stuff, okay, that's fine. But we're saying in order to try, because our people suffer from, it's so much degradation in our community. And that's why I talk about the culture conditioning of our people is just all wrong. And they don't fully understand. They think how we are is normal. It's not normal.
Right.
But I like the fact that you talk about your Islam, because Islam helped align me. You know what I'm saying? I used the Islam to align me, but I also took other aspects of other different philosophies in religion, and I compiled the information, and I was able to work with it based on everything I was seeing and knowing and going through. Talk about the Islam.
Oh man, listen. Islam has helped me out a lot because I tell a lot of people, when I was in the street, if you wasn't a part of the circle of my family, I didn't care nothing about you. It was doggy dog world. It wasn't until now I was with the Nation of Islam first for 8 years.
That's the truth.
Right. I was on the Nation of Islam on the street. And when I went to the feds, I had a homeboy that was the minister. By him being a minister, quite naturally, I'm going to hang out with my homeboys. And because I didn't know the dean. I had took Shahada in 1995. I used to pray with a guy in a jail in our parish jail, which you all will have a county. But when I went to do my state bid, I didn't get a Quran. I didn't get no kind of literature. So I didn't know nothing about Islam. So when I got out, these guys that come in the project, like the Jehovah Witness do, and we used to get up and walk off and run in his house. So one day he knocked on my door hard. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, man, what's up? Man, let me talk to you. We started talking, and I liked what he had to say. I went to the mosque, and it was some young guys up there spitting, getting it. I'm like, yo, I like this. So I just started going to the mosque. So I go to jail, I'm riding with them. Then it wasn't until I met this brother named Abdul Watsi from St. Louis, and he showed me the difference. And I was like, man, I want to take Shahada. So when I took Shahada, it got all around. I was in USP McQuarrie. It got all around the jail. And I was blessed to be around some brother that was on a hawk. The hawk, me and the straight pack on the dean.
Right. I understand. It's Sarata Mustaqim.
You Muslim?
Yes, I took the Shahada. I studied it. Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
So I
Salam alaikum
understand.
wa
I
barakatuh.
understand. You know, because we get caught up in the dunya. We get caught up in the dunya, and sometimes we get so mixed up in it that sometimes it's hard for us to pull left or right. But we can always align ourselves. You know, when you go back to the hadith, and you go back to the pillars of faith, and you go back to the shahada. When you think about those things, you know, you're able to realign yourself.
Facts. But bro, when I took Shahada, I was around some brother that was on it. They taught me, brother Hanif. He taught me how to
I knew
say
a
the
hadith.
alphabets. Yeah, he taught me how to say the alphabets. He taught me how to read Arabic. He taught me how to write. And man, within 30 days, I was reading, writing Arabic. We took this the Medina course, 3-book course. Man, I used to do a lot, but if you don't use it, you'll lose it. But
Yeah.
two of the things that I started that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna work on this, and I've been on it since I started August of 2005. No cussing and not using the N-word, and I haven't done that since 2005 of August.
I don't know if you notice or not. If you go look at all my channels, you'll never hear me curse. You'll never hear me say the N-word on none of my
Yeah,
videos.
yeah.
That's
You know, let
important
me tell. But
because
let me
I
tell you.
think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you about to say?
The importance of that is that people only curse and use foul languages when they lost for a better term or expression to articulate their position. So they'll go to foul language to fill in as fluff or fillers, you know. So I try
Right.
to remove myself from that type of sort of thinking and get into the strength of English and use those words as tools to leverage my position and make you understand where I'm coming from in the framework of understanding.
Okay. You know, and I was always taught that when a person uses a cuss word, every other word in their sentence, they short on vocabulary.
Yes.
So, and like
I
I
said
say,
the
and I
same thing
first
you just
saw,
said, just in a different way.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So when I first saw, it was a guy from Louisiana, mouth of the Golden Mile, and we was talking, and I was like, man, you said such and such, such, such. He said, man, I didn't say that because I don't cuss. And I looked, I'm like, man, every black man with Golden Mile cuss, man. You, and then I started paying attention to him. Every word he say, he didn't cuss. And I was like, man, I want to try that. I tried and I relapsed, go back to the cussing. But then when I took Shahada, I've been on it because, you know, Shahada going to show you the proper etiquettes.
Right.
It's so much stuff in these books going to show you what we should do and what we shouldn't do.
And also it helps you remove those things that are not good for you and replace the things that are good in your life. It does all
Right.
that. It's a whole realignment. It reposition who you are as a man and where your standing is on this planet, on this earth. And that's why I talk about I'm a spiritual gangster at war with the culture conditioning of my people, because I know they've been culturally conditioned by the outsiders for a purpose, so for control and to utilize it. It's still their content, still their publication, still everything they do that we have created has been stolen from us, and other people claim it right to this day, and they do it in plain sight.
Right. That's a
So I
fact.
was talking to Kai about music, right? And I was asking him, you know, why do the major publishing companies get to own your content? Okay, he said, but he was trying to make an argument about how they put up the money. That's fine, but still they don't understand. I don't understand why they need to own my music. Okay, you put up the
Right.
money, you recoup your money and everything. We both make percentages. We do this, but you don't need to own outright my music. I just don't believe in that. But I guess that's
That's a
how some
fact.
people are.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's a fact.
so give us something that you're working on that's that we can look forward to seeing.
Oh, I got the documentary on my life story I'm working on. I have a record label with some artists that I'm working with. I got a few people that's trying to give me deals for the artists, but I want to make sure I get the right deals to put them in a good situation.
Uh-huh.
And I got the nonprofit organization. It's called They Need Us. I'm out here moving with that. I've been going to shelters. I've been paying for stuff out of my pocket now to show, because you got to lead by example. You know, I'm showing people that I'm serious about this, you know. So that's the main things I'm doing now is my documentary, the nonprofit, the music, and then I plan to start on writing a movie on the original Hot Boys life story.
Man, that's awesome. See, and to your credit, right? Man plan, but Allah is the best of planners. See, because Allah has allowed you to come out within this year and do all these amazing things, right? When you got dudes that's been out here 15, 20, 30 years, not where you at right now.
That's a fact.
So if Allah have set you up that way, then what anybody else is saying is just sidewalk, they're just sidewalk critics. I'm telling you, man, everybody not don't belong on the streets. You know, some of these cats belong on the sidewalk, and they just sidewalk critics, and what they're saying don't really align with the universal plan is.
Right.
I know you short on time, man, because I don't know how much time.
I got to do an interview right now. They waiting on me.
Okay, let's do it, man. I appreciate you. Hey, listen, gangster. Me and you got to do this again, and we got to go deep, bro.
Inshallah. All right, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Let me give a shout out to BC. Shout out to the homie BC.
Shout out to BC, man, for putting this together.
Facts. Shout out to BC. Oh, and shout out to Melly Mel. Yeah.
Okay, the hood post, man.
Yeah, man.
And let me say this, brother, before you go. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbi Alameen. Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Yes,
all right, man. Alhamdulillah.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Nice talking to you, bro.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Man, we had the original Hot Boy, Terrance Williams, Gangsta Williams. Shout out to PK for doing dropping that money. Amazing individual. I mean, you know, you're gonna have both people on both sides of the argument, and be, you know what I mean, they're gonna see things in one way and another things in another way. I don't get into that. It's none of my business. What is my business is me. And this thing I do, as far as I call it the journalistic of the hood, journalism of the hood. I try to interview individuals regardless of what their position is, what they did. I don't have nothing to do with that. But I do like put it out there, and I did ask him the questions, and he explained it. He didn't run from it. He said, you know, so I thought that was amazing. Shout out to Marlena Williams. I didn't get the chance because originally he only told me he had 15 minutes. He did 30 with us. So that was in itself. Y'all see, I was pushing through them questions, trying to get to it. You know, I got the Big Meech, I got the Slim, I got the Baby in. So yeah, I meant to get Ayatollah in because I think him and Ayatollah had a run in, but I got Lil Boosie in, so that was good. But let me say this, life gets a lot easier when you gain the strength to ignore certain things. You never get too ahead if you stop to address every little thing that's said. You just don't. Give yourself permission to be happy. People, give yourself permission to be happy. You don't need nobody's approval for that. The right people will respect it, and the rest just are simply irrelevant. You know, your energy is more valuable. So you don't have to, you know what I mean? Everyone don't deserve access into your thinking or who you are as an individual. With that said, man, I am Professor Melly Mel. I am the spiritual gangster at war with the culture conditioning of his people. That's who I am. You know, that's that protective. I got to protect our energy. I believe that's what my calling is. I think that's what I'm here for. And that's why I like interviewing all individuals, no matter the circumstances. Blood makes us related, but loyalty makes us family. That's just it, man. There's a couple of books I want you guys to take heed to. I want you to go pick them up. One of the books is this book right here. It's Anthony Browder, The Browder Files. Ayanna Vanzant, Spirit of a Man, Breaking the Psychological Chains, Naeem Akbar, and let's see, what's up? Breaking the Psychological, and Are You Still a Slave? Those are 4 books. The Browder Files by Anthony Browder, The Spirit of a Man by Ayanna Vanzant, Breaking the Psychological Chains by Naeem Akbar, and the other one was, what was the other one? Oh, Are You Still a Slave? Yep. by Shahrazar Ali, Are You Still a Slave? Those four books are will be held very enlightening. They will give you a foundation that you can start building from and rearranging and just looking at things, re-examining all the things you've been taught, all the things that's been given to you, and understand that everything that's been given to you and done for you by this society and this culture. I'm not talking about people, because all skin folk ain't kin folk. Remember that. There's some people out there that are agents and understand who they are and know them when you see them. That's it. You know. So I think this is the perfect moment to do this. Let me read this, man. Let me see this. It says many teens are unaware that the most dangerous period in their life are the black male in between the ages of 13 and 25. This is the time period when many youth becomes delusional with school, gets involved in drugs, and turn in a life of crime. All these activities contribute to the development and permanent underclass with little or no hope for improvement for themselves or the future families. This is what Anthony Broder said in this book right here, and I believe that what he said was spot on. So I hope you guys go out and get you one of these. It's called the Browder Files. Get you one of these. It's very informational, and also Dr. Asa Hilliard, a good person to read. Dr. Ben Jockerman and Dr. Clark. All those are great books to read. And Dr. Smalls, I'm laying those for, and there's so many more I can name, but I just want to give y'all a little bit of that. So where we at? Any questions in regard to what we was doing in this interview? Great interview. Sending mad love from Philly. Right on, man. Right on, Lawrence. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate anybody that's tuning in to Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe, man. I really sincerely, humbly appreciate everybody that comes in and listen to us and just get a full understanding. You know what I mean? I got my moderators in there. Shout out to my boy DJ Vegas. Go cop that vibe. Get that vibe. He got them flash drives. Get with him on that. We got Marlena Williams, Postmaster Jim. We got double XL, double X, not double X, single X, Mike Marks. We got Rodney Scott. We got Dominique in there. I don't see Michelle in there tonight. Work it out, Wisdom. Dr. Jag was good with you, bro. CB, everybody that's in there, Demon McGraw, everybody that's in the chat, I really, really sincerely, humbly appreciate you. And we're only going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to educate, motivate, and uplift the people and put them where they belong, on the top shelf. That's where black people belong. They belong on the top shelf. They don't belong down in the bottom or down in the dirt and all this stuff about inferior, all that's crap, all that's a crock. Don't believe it. We're the best of God's design. We're the best of, he created us in the best of circumstances. How I know? Because in one single drop of sperm, there's 20 to 40 million live living organisms. Within a 72 period, only 115 of them will make it to the adult wall. The rest in the 72-hour period will begin to die off, flowing through the fallopian tube and running down and penetrate one egg. And that one represents me, you, him, her. Those won the individual. See, we won the race. We come here winning. It was through information, environment, and people teaching us the wrong things that caused us to lose, put us at a deficit. They wanted us at a deficit. The deficit is going to prison. The deficit is not getting the wrong education, the lack of education. The deficit is going down the wrong, but the deficit is drugs, alcohol, falling into this cult, this demonistic cult that they got sold to all these Illuminatis and going into all these strip clubs and all this total distraction. It's meaningless. It's meaningless. So who got a question for me? Good conversation. Reggie Owens. What's up, Reggie? How you doing, man? Yeah, shout out to my boy BC, man. BC, man. I talk to BC periodically. He's always calling me. He's always got somebody on the line. He can get to a lot of different people, and he just happened to be a good friend of mine. He's actually Mob B from the Mob, actually. So shout out to Mob B. Young Compton, what's good? Dr. Claude Anderson as well. You're right, bro. Forget Dr. Claude. Get those, yeah, Marlena. Rick Flesh, we've been tricking out of our spot. Yep, you're right. That's exactly what happened. We got tricked out of it. Right on, OS Reggie. How's the boxing going, bro? Boxing conversations. Remember Alexis Arguello, Parnell Whitaker, Salvador Sanchez. Let's see. Some of the greats back there. Of course, Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler and Qual Weed, the White Braxton, all those men. Those times right there, boxing was serious. The classroom, better known as the hood postman, the hood mailroom. There you go. There you go, DJ Vegas. Kingdom Johnson. Yeah, you read them all great choices, right? Community of Self, Spirit of a Man, the Router Files, and Are You Still a Slave? Are You Still a Slave is Sharzar Ali. The Router Files is Anthony Browder. Spirit of a Man is Ayala Manzat. And Breaking the Psychological Chains of Slavery is Naeem Akbar. Naeem Akbar. But don't get too caught up in religion in itself. You know what I mean? Religion is something we use, is a criteria to judge between what's right and wrong. It helps you align yourself. I don't care if it's Islam, it's Christianity, Hare Krishna, whatever. As long as it gives you a criteria to judge between right and wrong, and you decide to just do right versus doing wrong, you're winning. We're going to come back tomorrow. I got a couple about 3 youngsters that want to come on. But I got a story too. I was thinking about a story, right? And the story is going to be me, Gertie Montana, and Johnny Newman, a.k.a. the little one. We all came home and could have been a year of right after the riots, 92, right after the riots. But I'm going to tell you that story another time, but it is a great story. It's a great story. And it was during the time when we had to kind of come back and gather the hood and put everything back in perspective, get everybody back on one page. And it was definitely a much needed moment. It was a great moment of time. Shout out to Roy Summers. He came through, and dumped a lot of money, dumped a lot of, whatever, and had them goddammits. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about that, Silky. Penthouse Roy himself. So Marlena, what's going on? Tell us something. Marlena Williams, Rodney Scott. What would you say if it's ethnic making up or Compton today? What's it? Man, man, what can I say about Compton? You know what I mean? But are we going to continue to allow the ethnic identity of Compton to be gangbanging? Is that what we're going to do? Are we going to begin to hold the mayor, the city council, and city manager accountable to the degree where they start fixing up the street, spraying about beautifying the city, stop allowing people to park their cars on their grass, and just start making sure people keep their lawns up, paint their houses, start holding the community accountable. You don't want to live in the community, right? Get out, go find somewhere else to go. And I ain't telling nobody where to go or how to do it. I'm just saying what it should be. We maybe we meet what is that called? What do they call it when they call the people over the housing community? What is that? Housing something HOP or something, HO something, HO, whatever it is. I forget the initials. You're enjoying the live. Right on, Marlena. Yeah, so if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. But it's got to, once again, community itself. What does that look like? I mean, all people in the community coming together and wanting the community to be better, wanting to thrive, wanting to look good. I'm telling you, in the 60s, yeah, Marlena, tell us something. That's what PK said. During the 60s, Compton was a beautiful city. 60s and 70s. And slowly, as it moved towards like 75, 76, that's when you really start seeing changes right there. There was times, every year, from I think from 73 might have been the first. Well, not the first, but the Compton parades were usually was the meeting grounds for all the gang members would come to Compton. That was younger when downtown Compton was still in play. We didn't have all that when Walmart, not Wal, yeah, was it Walmart over there or whatever all them little stores over there in Compton Boulevard. I don't know. But anyway, all that wasn't there. There was Jack's, there was Bottoms Up, there was Penny's, there was Woodworth's, there was the shoe stores, there was Whitey's Sporting Goods store. There was just a numerous of stores right there, right? And this one particular year, the Crips and Bloods, the Pyrus came all the way from where they came from, Ludus Park, and the Crips came from all the other end. Of course, my neighborhood is right in the middle of all that. What's good, OG Steve? And man, they clashed like the Titans. Clashed like the Titans. This was like probably one of the worst years I ever seen it. You know, when people was getting thrown through windows and people was fighting everywhere, all in the parade, just fighting. People sleep on Woodburn. So yeah, so that was just a lot of fighting. And then from that point on, that first time when that happened, every year they would, you know, the Crips and Pyrus would meet up at the Compton parade, Christmas parade, and fight. For many years they did that. I don't know what it's like today. Hopefully they're not still doing that. But yeah, for many years in the 70s, it started in the 70s and went beyond. There was one year that there was so many of us, the Santanas, we came and as soon as, because we was dressed in all that black. Right on, Kenneth Johnson, appreciate you. Mel, I just finished reading Stem from the beginning. I found it to be so interesting. I read it back to again. Yeah, right. You know, there's a book, right, called Standing on the Scratch Line. The guy is actually Maya Angelou's son. Go read that book, Standing on the Scratch. You talking about an impactful book? I'm talking about he took black men in this book and made them heroes during a time when it was just like, you know, it had the Oklahoma situation, but in this book, the black people is putting people, man, I'm telling you, go read that book. I ain't gonna tell you the more. Standing at the Scratch Line. I think his name is Guy Williams. Guy Johnson or something, but he's Maya Angelou's son. But anyway, coming back to the parade, right? So when the Compton police see us all coming, we coming up Willow, man. I don't know how many of us, man, but they threw us all in paddy wagons and squad cars and took the whole set, the whole Santana set to jail. That was the funniest thing because, you know, they knew something about the way we was looking and the way we was coming up Willow to Compton Boulevard. They wasn't having it that year. That was just too funny when I think about it. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff just make me laugh now when I think about some of the things that we did, you know, because being foolish when you're young make you laugh when you're old. And that's where I'm at with it, man, because I did some foolish stuff when I was young, you know what I mean? Now I could just laugh about it, you know, because I made it to another level of understanding and maturity to where I'm not bending the rules anymore, not trying to flex or make anybody think that I'm this super tough dude or none of that. None of that needs to matter, you know, none of that. Reminded me of South Park, Houston when I was there. Okay. So what did you guys think about the interview overall? Would you like to see him back on and we get a little longer with him? What's your thought? I'll let the Mailroom Nation and the goons make that determination. You know, I would like you guys' input. Who would you guys like for me to interview? I think I'm gonna go see Baba Louie this weekend, to be honest with you. I've been talking to Baba Louie. I got his number and everything, talked to him. So, you know, there's a couple of things I want to do. And then Lil Mimi called me. Lil Mimi, he the one that said we got to get butt naked and get suited to booted from the top. And first of all, we got to put the two K's with the C's with the derby on with the H deuce on top. But we got to get butt naked from the top, suited and booted. China Dog, yeah, see, yeah, that's a great one, Cynthia. That is a great. That would be so great, you know. But you know, and I wanted to be, you know what I mean, from a informational point, but also to the degree that we're showing these kids and younger individuals and younger generations that we can achieve optimate level type of understanding where we two grown men that ran from opposite sides of the tracks or whatever sit down and really discuss some things and just give a vision and a path and insight how to navigate this life, you know. What's good, the Hood Post, man? All the way back from Pennsylvania, great interview as a journalist. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Messy TV. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, see, yeah, Cynthia, and you know what I mean? We just got to get Marcus comfortable with it, you know. You know, because you know me, there's no tricks with me, no flanking and flaking and all that different trying to, you know, put somebody in some type of pickle. And that's not who I am as an individual. I'm fair with everyone, you know, and I give everybody, I see the good in everybody. That's just who I am. You know, some people don't want to see the good in people, but I am a person that sees the good in everybody. That may be a fault of mine. I don't know. But so far, I think that's just who my personality wise, I think that's where I'm supposed to be. That's just me, you know. Now, some people may disagree with me. You know what I mean? Like I say, people want to hold you accountable for what other individuals did. And then they want to use you as a sounding board to exercise or get at that individual based on their thinking. Don't have nothing to do with you because they don't want to go, because there's a whole lot of people that wouldn't go say one word to James. Not one. I'm talking speaking about Mom James. There's a whole lot of people that wouldn't go say nothing to Gangsta. You know, there's a whole lot of people that wouldn't go say nothing to some of any of these dudes. You know what I mean? And that's just facts. That's the fact of the matter. But they will try to put a key in your back. He said Mimi is a liar. I don't know. Why you say that, PK? Why you say that? Why you say that, PK? You got to have your reasons for that. But we'll talk about it off the net, bro. We'll talk about it off the net. You can always hit me on Instagram and send me a number and we'll talk about it, PK. ESCDs, yes, sir, man. You missed an awesome interview. Hope you go back and capture it later, man. Appreciate you, man. Another guy that wrote a great intro song. I know he's your big homie. I know that much. Right on, Key Mike Marks. Right on, man. Exhale. You took the marks off. You just exhale down. Sometimes I overlook things. It's a fault of mine. But I did tell him, you know what I mean? Like I told him, man, I don't do no cursing. I don't do no, you know, calling people out their name if I can avoid it. You know what I mean? Sometimes we all make Freudian slips, you know, and maybe say something that we want to take back. But that's not justification enough. We got to just be conscious of and mindful of what we're saying and how we're saying it and who we're saying it to, you know. Yeah, PK, man, I'm getting Mimi on you, PK. I think these lives are going really well. I really enjoy the lives. I think especially when you have a great guest on, you know, and we're able to delve into some stuff and understand some things, you know, and they give out some pretty good. I mean, the way he He was real comfortable. I will say that he was real comfortable. He didn't don't seem to have no stress in his life, because after all, we have to understand the man got home, been here only a year. He's accomplished so much, and the only reason I know, because we talked off of before on the phone, and he told me everything he was doing and getting into. I just thought, man, this is amazing. So once again, man playing, but God is the best of planners. Simple as that. So is there any more questions before we get up out of here? Anybody got anything they want to say or ask any gang related questions or anything? What up, Gerald Parker? Where you been, man? We've been up here getting it in, bro. We missed you. We miss you, bro, but good enough. You showed up, man. Appreciate you, man. You guys continue to press those thumbs up, man, and all other subscriptions. It's important because we trigger the algorithms. We get more people on. We get more people. We get this content out a little further than what it normally goes, and we'll continue to grow the channel. We'll walk through everything as we can. Take care of the business. Boulevard, much love. Big Unc, Melly Mel, much love. This is not a Section 8 channel. Hit that dollar sign. I love it, Mike. I love it. I love it, Mike. I love it. Derek Wainwright, what's good, gangster? Happy New Year's, brother. Yes, sir. It's not a Section 8 channel. Hit that dollar sign if you got a question. There you go. There you go. That came from Mike XL. King Mike XL, y'all. Well, I think it's about time we get up out of here. It's been awesome. It's been good. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. Dope content hit. It'll feel like it's first to 15. Be good, be safe. Most of all, be well. Continue to increase in intellect, knowledge, and understanding, and purify that heart and purify that mind. Let your entry be by the gate in truth and honor. Likewise, let your exit be by the gate in truth and honor. I am a spiritual gangster at war with the culture conditioning of my people. That's who I am. But don't mind me, just watching. But Marlena Williams, go ahead and lock that door. Let's get up out of here. It's been amazing, guys. I appreciate you guys. And next time we get to use this one, I'll get to add this. Stop the cap. When somebody get in there and get the cap, and we're gonna hit that on them. We'll stop the cap. That's for PK.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap, PK. Mimi is a soldier over there, man.
Perfect grind all the time, baby.
Yeah. Cali Finest, baby. Perfect grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, Birdman, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go, reach for the low.
Yes, sir. Marlena, go ahead and lock the door because we are gone.